I'm Dublin City's coldest, you should know this. I've been rapping like a veteran, not a novice. Different flow when I drop a track.
Yes, Opeth fans, welcome back to the channel. I know I've kind of kept you waiting for a while. It's been a week or two since I did any Opeth, but gotta bear with me, man. There's so many requests coming in at the moment. I'm trying to keep up, but you know, all the bands that you've seen me enjoy, just take my word for it that if I've enjoyed a band at some stage, there'll always be time to come back. I mean, I've got nothing but time, especially in this day and age, man. Like, I'm probably not going to be back to a normal life until like August at some point, and that's providing like Ireland doesn't fuck up with the whole coronavirus thing and end up going a few steps back. But yeah, for the moment we're just going to focus on what we can do today, and that is going to be the Face of Melinda by Opeth. Now this one was one that I handpicked carefully because I read through a lot of the comments, because Opeth to me has been very, very good. They've had some absolutely excellent tracks. Ghost of Perdition is still my favourite. That is the one track that I go back to very often. The last one that I did was Blackwater Park. Hit and miss for me. I mean, I do like a lot of elements of it, but like I've been saying, the growls are just hit and miss for me again. Now I did just do Slaughter to Prevail, who are very growl heavy, but I think because Slaughter to Prevail, a band like them, are like so based around the growls, I kind of know what I'm expecting and I know what I'm getting myself into, so I'm kind of like prepared for that shock value. Whereas with Opeth, I hear the instrumentals and everything, and it's like almost the perfect track, like so fucking talented from a musicianship standpoint. And then there's just certain parts where I kind of get lost a bit because I don't really like the growls. So I've handpicked this one because you guys said to check this one out if you're not into the growls. A lot of people were saying like, why do people keep suggesting the heavier tracks with the more growls when clearly it's not something that Drew is into. And I agree to an extent, but I appreciate that people just want to see the tracks that they love. So I mean, I will do like as much Opeth as I can. Obviously if I just keep getting back-to-back tracks that I hate, which hasn't happened yet at all, then I will stop doing them. But for the moment I am still enjoying Opeth. Like I said, I'm not just ignoring them intentionally. A lot of people were saying like, Drew, why are you ignoring Opeth? I'm not, man. I still work full time through all this shit, trying to run this. It takes a long time to film these and edit them and everything. I know you guys probably just see, you guys just see the finished product, but trust me, all I'm trying to say is just trust me. I'm not doing this on purpose. I do want to keep as many people happy as possible. But to get into the song is about the main character meeting with Melinda. He's trying to take her back. Face Melinda describes her as a quiet, brooding creature as he approaches her. After his failure to court her, she was sworn to the life of a nun. However, he never gave up, plotting to have her back to fill his emptiness. This sounds like it's going to get real serial killer-esque. He is disheartened but tells her that she has risked everything to return to this place. She tells him of her own moral failings, but surprises her, even herself, when she tells him that she loves him, or still loves him. The song ends with a grim clue of what's to come. Okay, so again, Opeth's lyrics are just weird to me. They're hit and miss. I sometimes pay attention to them, sometimes don't, so it's just nice to have a little understanding of what the track is going to be roughly about. So the album is Still Life, released in 1999, so we're talking 23 years ago from this point. So yeah, 21 years ago. I thought it was 2022 for some reason. That's how fucked this whole quarantine period has me. But yeah guys, let's jump into it. Drop a like for more Opeth. Let me know in the comment section down below what's next. Sub to the channel if you haven't already, be much appreciated. Let's go. By the way, we got a lyric video. I don't know how accurate these lyrics are going to be, but I'll have to see. I love the acoustic elements that Opeth always seem to have, like kind of scattered throughout their tracks.
By the turnstile beckons a damsel fair. Face of Melinda neath blackened hair. No joy would flicker in her eyes. Brooding sadness came to her eyes. This is when no one will bother, and conceited pain and crumbling birth. A harlot of God upon the earth, found where she sacrificed always. That hollow love in her face. Darkness night.
They are really good at just creating an atmosphere, even if you can't quite put a finger on what the atmosphere is that they're going to create. Like, to me, this track screams of, I don't know, I'm just getting like really like weird serial killer vibes off it. I mean, it's still like a really atmospheric track, but with the lyrics paired in with it, I can't help but feel like it's building up to this climactic moment where the sky is just going to snap. I don't know, just by the way the writing is so descriptive, it just has that vibe to it. I don't know if that's actually going to go that way or it's just going to be like a traditional kind of love story, but it just seems like he's like back and forth with himself, like, and this girl Melinda has no interest, but he's still like plotting, and he's like, one day my heart will have her back and all this kind of shit. But I do love it, man. All the like little, I don't know, I think it's like when they slide their fingers down the fret on the guitar, it's just small little details, atmospheric. I know they did that a lot in Window Pane, and I made the observation that the sliding down the guitar fret or whatever it is that they're actually creating that sound is almost like someone rubbing their handle on the window. And a lot of people were like, oh, I never even thought of that. But these are just observations that I just kind of throw out there tongue-in-cheek, just based off of my first reaction and what I can hear, just so you guys can get an idea what's going through my head as I'm listening to it, you know, instead of just like speaking about it at the end. I'm just going to do it in real time. But yeah, getting serial killer vibes off this. Maybe it's just because the way I'm looking too deep into the lyrics and just by the way it's so descriptive about what he's going to do and all this kind of shit. But let's keep going. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, chat. little guitar riff in the background, that's the kind of shit that I always talk about in this channel, where sometimes if I'm a little bit indifferent about a track, like say for example I just listened to this whole track, right, and it was just a bassline track for me where I'm kind of indifferent to it. I don't really like it, I don't love it, you know, I don't hate it, it's just indifferent. Sometimes if you get a track like that, that is very listenable, but there's nothing that like would draw you back in a lot. I thought that was a fucking massive wasp in my room. I shit myself. I don't know if that was making noise for the whole thing. I couldn't hear anything, so apologies if that was the case. I'm gonna have to mute my audio. Fuck. But what I was saying is, I've mentioned it a few times before, where sometimes there's a small segment of a track that can be the difference between making it a re-listenable track or a track that I go back to and just never listening to it again. And that little like guitar riff that is the kind of detail that Opeth have offered me in so many tracks I've listened to from them, that makes their tracks have a replay value that I will go back to for that one particular moment or one particular guitar riff. And just by chance, if I'm driving, I'm listening for that part, but by chance I'm absorbing the rest of the track, and then just before you know it, you start to learn all the other parts of the track, and all of a sudden it becomes one of your favourites, purely based on the fact that it had that replayable value in the first place that made me want to go back and do it. So I may have been kind of indifferent to the entire track, but there was one part in it, just a small segment, even if it's 10 seconds, that is enough to make me go back to it once, and then all of a sudden it starts to become a track that you just keep listening to because you start noticing more and more parts to it. And that is one thing that with the Dream Theater track that I did recently, A Change of Seasons, I have just kept going back to the intro of that track. Like, no matter how many times I've heard it, it's just not getting any worse. Like, it's so fucking good. And I've been listening to like the full 23-minute track just because I've been driving, and I'd have that track on just to hear the intro, and then obviously I let it play through, and I'm just picking up other parts of the track to just keep getting better and better. And I think that Opeth have a very good knack at doing that with particular tracks. If I'm a little bit indifferent and I don't really like love it or hate it, they'll have one little small second where I'm like, oh yeah, well, it's on the playlist now. That is sick. Yeah. As I get deeper into this whole metal journey and the tracks that I've been recommended by you guys all the time, I'm just slowly starting to realise that this channel is becoming like a prog rock reaction channel. I know like the reaction genre in itself is a genre, but there's obviously subcategories of that. There's like reaction channels that do like K-pop music, there's reaction channels that do metal music, there's reaction channels that do hip-hop music, and I think I'm starting to find my footing in the progressive metal genre because there's so many talented bands, and I've had the most fun doing these videos. They just come so effortlessly, like, to me. I don't like editing them is fun, like recording them is fun, and then like not only that, it's also relative to my actual life because that's the music that I'm interested in outside of just doing the videos. I mean, I wouldn't keep doing, I don't get paid pretty much. Obviously we get like video sponsors the odd time where I promote some bands. I have a Patreon as well that, I mean, we've got some very loyal people over there that stick with me, so I mean, from that standpoint it's monetizable that way. But these videos alone, like, they always get copyrighted. I don't make any like ad revenue money from this at all, so it is purely based on the love for this music, I wouldn't keep doing it. Obviously I branch out and I do other genres sometimes, but that is just, you know, just to keep things fresh. Yeah, it just works perfectly at the moment because the music that I actually love and listen to on a daily basis happens to be the music that, you know, I'm falling in love with, and finding so many more bands and getting to do it with you guys at the same time who've been listening to these bands for years. So yeah, another great suggestion, guys. Keep them coming in the comment section down below. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you could drop a like on this video, it'd be much appreciated. Sub to the channel if you are new. I'm signing out. Take it easy.